Dear boys, we're only back again with another one. How's everyone doing? I hope everyone's doing fine and okay. This one is going to be a series that I hope to do. It's called, I want to call it Three of a Kind. So what I'm going to do is basically take a figure, WWE based, from Hasbro. I'm going to take one from Jakks and I'm going to take one from Mattel. I'm going to start this one off with, two of them are going to be customs, but I do hope to do like official released figures. Because what it is, there's a couple of people that I've shared like memories with these figures, so I think it'd be cool like to sort of collab with them and maybe sort of like we'll see how it pans out. But for this one, we're going to start off with none other than such a notorious character, One Man Gang. But what I want to do is start with the Jakks one because the Mattel and the Hasbro are custom. So what I want to do is explain that if it wasn't for the Jakks, that the other two wouldn't happen, because it all basically started off with a head scan. You see a lot of people making Mattel customs and they use the Jakks head scan, but for me it's like massive when you put it on like a Mattel body. It just looked way too big. So what I've done was I managed to get hold of the Jakks One Man Gang. The figure itself is just it's awesome. I mean, like, if you look at Jakks as a how they scaled figures and stuff like that, it obviously wasn't no good, because like obviously a Rey Mysterio could be just as big as an Undertaker or whatever. But visually, this One Man Gang is phenomenal. Like, it's just so good. He's a tank. He's an absolute mammoth, and like it's worth its weight in plastic. This figure. It's funny because it's got like the decals on the sleeves are the wrong way round. His tattoos on his head was faded, so that was hard to sort of like try and copy. But yeah, I managed to mould the head scan, and I managed to shrink the cast, so it all turned out really, really well for the Mattel. So what happened was, I tried to shrink the head first time around, and it didn't work. So I basically had a spare head, and I sat on it for a while. Like, I kept it. I thought, I won't, like, it's quite a good, you know, it looks good. There's no air bubbles and all the rest of it. So I hang on to that because I might, you know, might do something with it. So the second one I made was actually the Mattel, because what happened was, I was able to shrink the cast, and it shrunk really good. Like, normally when you shrink casts, I'm sure people will tell you, depending on what method you do, like, what happens is it don't shrink properly, or something's out of line. But yeah, this one was perfect. So I was able to sort of like Dremel out the inside, get it to fit a Mattel body, and how it turned out was perfect, really. You know, so the Mattel one was made next. But before chatting about the Mattel one, I just wanted to talk about the Hasbro one. So I had the spare head sitting around. I'd seen someone do it before, so I was like, you know what, I really fancy sort of having a go at that, just because it just looks cool, like, it looks like a cool custom. So I had to sculpt a neck onto a body. I think I used, it was either an earthquake or typhoon body. Yeah, so I managed to sculpt the neck on, fit the head scan. Like, it just naturally looks like a Hasbro, I think. Maybe the head was maybe a little bit too big, but overall, like, it was perfect, really. It was like such a simple sort of custom. Previously designed the decals for the shoulders, so they was easy enough. So I just shrunk and reprinted them. Because the head was so big, I was able to use the decals that I made, the head tattoos, the decals I made previous for the Mattel version. So they sort of just fit them perfect. So, but coming on to the Mattel, yeah, that was really, really good, because what happened was, every person I've seen do a Mattel, like, obviously not everyone, but like the majority of people that do a Mattel One Man Gang, the scaling is off the charts, because they tend to make them really, really big. So Wikipedia is a bit up and down for heights, but it says he's roughly the same height as Earthquake. So what I did was, I was sort of like basing this off of an Earthquake-sized Mattel. Also, like to note, the Akeem towers over the Earthquake. It's a bit hard to sort of like get the scale for that. So yeah, as I said, I based it off of the Earthquake. Yeah, so before scaling the figure, I got an Umaga figure, and I was like, well, that would be just perfect. I could probably take his feet and his calves off, put a pair of boots on, and the scale would probably be perfect. I tried it, but yeah, it didn't really work out that way. So I really liked the body shape. I stuck with the Umaga for that. So what happened was, the legs weren't sitting right, so I had this idea that I just, the only figure I had at the time was a Brodus Clay, and I had to change the ball joints. because Umaga had ratchet joints, so I had to change it to ball joints in the crotch piece. Used the Broders clay thighs, and then the rest of it I used the Umaga, and I think I used Magnum TA's boots because they was a bit bigger, whatever, so they just fit perfectly with the lower calves of Umaga. So it was all pieced together. I think the arms, I can't remember who the arms was, I think they was just in the fodder box, but I've had this mad trip that I want to start doing clothes for figures. So I thought it would be a perfect time to sort of, I'm not much of I can't really sew, but I'll give it a go, and so I tried to do his waist jacket. Yeah, and I must admit I quite enjoyed doing it. I mean, it's not perfect, but yeah, I was able to sort of like put the diamond studs, they look like the buttons, and the design at the back was really, really hard to do. A lot of people who's done a one-man gang custom have seen like the late great Glenn Webb's video. I'll link that in the description, but like he'll tell you as well that it's impossible to try and find like a decent reference picture. The only person I've seen that do really, really well is Mac Decals. He's done like a really, really good design. So, you know, I just tried to do the best I could with the images that I could find. I'm over the moon with how that turned out, really. I think it adds a really nice touch to the waist jacket, and it just makes the figure look 10 times better. So a lot of people don't do it with the waist jacket, or they'll just sort of paint a plastic one, but I think the cloth goods make it look so much better. So yeah, really pleased with how that turned out and the way the decals went. But I hope you enjoyed this series, because I think it's something that I want to do. I think it's a good idea. Yeah, so if you like it, subscribe, like the video, you know, drop some comments, let us know that you liked it. Like, it would mean the world to me. So until the next video, boys, I will see ya when I see ya.